A three-way contest for the presidency is officially underway. Vying for the role of Singapore's next head of state are former GIC investment chief, Mr Ng Kok Song, former senior minister, Mr Tharman Shanmugaratnam, and former NTUC income chief, Mr Tan Lian. All three have successfully filed their nomination papers. Richa Matthew with more.
The People's Association, an organization with a mission to build and bridge communities to achieve one nation, one Singapore, and perhaps apt that its headquarters along King George's Avenue was chosen as a nomination center for the upcoming presidential election. Even before the three hopefuls arrived to file their nomination papers, supporters braved the heat and started streaming in to cheer them in person. These are Mr Tharman Shanmugaratnam's supporters. Decked in burgundy shirts, some had the words Team Tharman on them, and when he arrived at 10:30 a.m., Mr Ng Kok Song had arrived half an hour earlier. He was accompanied by his fiancée Sibyl Lau and his team of proposer, seconder and assenters. With a smile, he waved at his supporters as he made his way into the building. Mr Tan Lian had his family by his side, followed by his team shortly after. Before long, officials started putting up the first of the nomination papers on the notice board. This allowed the candidates and their teams to scrutinize the documents and raise objections, if any. And since there weren't any, the returning officer made the official announcement of a three-cornered contest.
Result of nominations. Mr Ng Kok Song, Mr Tharman Shanmugaratnam, and Mr Tan Lian are the candidates who have been nominated for the election to the office of President of the Republic of Singapore. As a returning officer, I hereby direct that the poll be conducted on the 1st of September 2023.
The announcement was greeted with shouts of joy from the supporters of the three candidates. The candidates then made their case to Singaporeans.
I'm standing for president to protect these three treasures. The first treasure is our reserves. I can protect the reserves. I spent my entire career at GIC and MAS helping to build up our reserves. Our second treasure is good public administration. I worked 45 years in public service. I have what it takes to uphold the integrity of public service appointments. Our third treasure is our social stability, where Singaporeans have lived in peace and harmony regardless of race, religion, or political affiliation.
I look forward to a fair, dignified and honourable contest focused on what each of us bring to Singaporeans and what each of us bring for our future. It is our future that we are concerned about. And friends, it will be a different future. It will be a more difficult and challenging future that we face, which is the reason why I have entered this contest, to offer all my experience and capabilities on the ground for a few decades, nationally and internationally, so that I can serve Singaporeans in the role of president with all my heart in the years to come.
I'm standing for election as President of Singapore. I want to give the people of Singapore a chance to vote for a president who is truly independent of the ruling government. If I am elected, I will carry out my duties as set out in the Constitution, diligently, honestly, and to the best of my ability. These duties are to safeguard the reserves and uphold the integrity of the public service. I ask for your support so that I can do my best for the people.
That marks the start of the 9 days of campaigning, and the candidates did not waste any time greeting supporters as they walked out of the nomination centre. More than 2.7 million Singaporeans will be eligible to vote for their 9th head of state on the 1st of September.
Well, amid all the hustle and bustle, candidates also revealed their official symbols. These will eventually be seen on the ballot paper come 1st of September as another way for voters to identify candidates. Well, they shared the meaning behind their symbols and campaign themes. Mr Ng Kok Song says the slogan of his election campaign is United for a Future, and his symbol is the 5 fingers of an open hand.
What do those 5 symbols, what do those 5 fingers symbolize? They symbolize the various races in Singapore. And the palm signifies that although we might be people who come from different races, different religions, we are one palm, we are one country.
Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam's campaign is focused on respect for all. His symbol is the pineapple, known in Hokkien as Ong Lai.
It is a symbol with a lot of meaning to all our communities. Ong Lai, it is a propitious and welcome symbol for many people. When we move into a new home, when we start a new business, when we want good luck and good things to happen. It is our future.
And as for Mr. Tan Lian, his campaign slogan is Bring Back Trust, Give Us Hope. His symbol is 4 figures reaching out toward a flower.
My campaign symbol is living in harmony, and it is the 4 figures represent the major ethnic groups in Singapore, and they are all reaching out hope for a better future.
What are they reaching out for? Is it a flower? Is it a star?
No, it's reaching out for hope for a better future. That flower represents a hope for a better future.
Presidential candidates are looking to engage voters in their own ways. So let's take a look at what they have planned over the next 9 days.
I'm going all out so that more Singaporeans can know me, can meet me. Because I have a disadvantage that I have never been in the political limelight. So over the last 4 weeks, I have tried my very best to reach out to all Singaporeans, and especially to our younger generation. So I have put a lot of my energy and resources using social media.
I'm going to be doing what I've always done. As I've said, I'm not going to change my personality because I've been at this for more than 20 years. I enjoy meeting people, I enjoy interacting with them, I enjoy solving their problems, I enjoy being with them when they go through their joys and frustrations. I'm not changing. I have a track record on the ground, nationally and internationally, which I believe allows the elected presidency to play a full role in the future for Singapore.
The next 9 days, I will have a walkabout because there are so many places in Singapore. So even the 9 days have gone and another 9 days, it's not enough. So I will go on the walkabout. And originally I planned to have a rally on Friday. But I found that the venue is too expensive, and the expenses are too expensive.
A presidential candidate, Mr Ng Kok Song, wasted no time in getting his campaign started after his candidacy was confirmed. His first stop is his childhood home at Kangka, which is now Sengkang. Well, upon arrival at the place where he was born, Mr Ng sank to his knees and kissed the ground. He said he lived there till he was 24 in a house with a thatched roof, mud floor and 2 bedrooms. And during his visit, he stopped by the Kangka Mall and visited a nearby Catholic church. When asked about his thoughts of an alleged smear campaign against Tan Lian, Mr Ng said he does not want to criticize his opponent.
I want to win this election by my merits, not to point out other people's faults. But I think we must, if we want to stand for the president, we must respect people. Respect people of all generations, of all gender. So I hope to be able to honor that, to do that.
Now, Mr Tharman Shanmugaratnam's campaign is also up and running. His posters are already seen in various districts, and they include Hougang, Tampines and Choa Chu Kang. Mr Tharman is also expecting to hold a town hall meeting on Friday where he will share more about his vision for the presidency. With the Elections Department encouraging candidates to campaign using platforms such as broadcast and social media, physical meets need approval from the site owner and also a police permit. The police permit must be submitted at least 2 days before the intended date of the event. A presidential candidate, Mr Tan Lian's team is also kick-starting their campaign. The team says they will begin putting up campaign posters from midnight. No further details were given. Welcome back. More now on our coverage of the presidential race. Well, one candidate has called for a fair, dignified and honourable contest. Another is alleging that he is the victim of a smear campaign. Marcus Tan with more.
Mr Tan Lian says he's been the target of what he calls a smear campaign over the last few days. It concerns screenshots taken of his older Facebook posts where he's used the phrase "pretty girls." On a Facebook live stream on Tuesday morning, Mr Tan says he has no evidence but believes it's all orchestrated by, quote, a party backing his biggest opponent. He goes on to name Mr Tharman Shanmugaratnam. After being nominated, Mr Tharman addresses the matter for the first time with the media.
I saw something this morning. I'm glad that Mr Tan Lian has withdrawn that suggestion. It certainly goes against everything I represent, which I've stated repeatedly. The need to focus on candidates' ability to contribute to Singapore, avoid smear campaigns of any sort. Clearly, I have nothing to do with it, but I'm very sure that no one backing me has anything to do with it either.
Mr Tan also shared what Mr Tharman said to him.
He assured me that they are not on his team. But of course, I'm not too sure whether he knows what somebody else are doing on his behalf.
Mr Tan maintains there is a concerted effort by an attack group, which he alleges includes the media.
I want to say something to the media. The people trust you to be honest and fair. Now, how can you just smear me based upon something which is quite frivolous and you make it into a big issue?
He has also accused women's advocacy group Aware and the Presidential Elections Committee of being involved.
The Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore has put out advisories urging the public to protect themselves online. Well, this comes as many election-related activities are in the digital space. Well, CSA says people should also be wary of phishing attempts, usually in the form of emails and messages, especially those that appear to be sent by or linked to candidates. The public should scrutinize the web page address or URL link and should not disclose sensitive information or provide unnecessary financial payments. People should also only download apps or software from official sources and pay particular attention to the security permissions. And here is what to expect from now till polling day on the 1st of September. Television is a key avenue for the presidential campaigns because of its reach. It allows voters to assess candidates' decorum and dignity in keeping with the office of president. Each candidate will get 2 blocks of 10 minutes of airtime across Mediacorp TV and radio channels on the 24th and 30th of August. CNA will also broadcast live a presidential forum on Monday, 28th of August. That will also be streamed on CNA's YouTube channel and Facebook page. A repeat telecast will go out on Channel 5 the next day. Campaigning in the form of rallies are not encouraged, and there will be no designated rally sites. Posters and banners may be used to line public roads, but must abide by conditions of the returning officer. All election campaigning must stop the day before polling day. This 24-hour cooling-off window is to give voters time to reflect on issues and make a wise and rational decision when casting their ballot. And of course, the D-Day itself is next Friday, which has been declared a public holiday. Some 2.7 million Singaporeans are eligible to cast their votes, and more than 1,200 polling stations will be set up to reduce waiting time for voters. And this year, portable booths for nursing home residents and optional postal voting for overseas Singaporeans will also be available.